The surface of Europa gleamed like polished diamond under Jupiter's watchful gaze, its icy exterior betraying nothing of what lay beneath. 3 kilometers under the frozen crust, in a cavern carved by centuries of human determination, the USS Blackstar took shape in absolute secrecy. The massive vessel hung suspended in a chamber of superchilled liquid nitrogen, its obsidian hull absorbing every stray photon that dared touch its surface. Commander Elena Santos stood at the observation deck, her dark eyes fixed on the ship that represented humanity's greatest achievement. And their greatest secret. 20 years of her life had led to this moment, overseeing a project that officially didn't exist. The Galactic Empire, with its countless worlds and self-proclaimed technological superiority, remained blissfully unaware of what humanity had accomplished in this hidden sanctuary. Final quantum core calibrations are complete, Commander. Dr. Kai Chen's voice carried through the neural link, his consciousness brushing against hers with practiced ease. The ship's chief engineer had pioneered the bio-quantum interface technology that would allow the crew to communicate and control the Blackstar through thought alone. The gravimetric displacement field is stable, and the dark matter reactor is performing beyond our initial projections. Elena acknowledged with a subtle neural pulse, her implants translating the thought into a clear response. Status of the metamaterial hull coating. 0 detectable energy signatures, Kai replied, pride evident in his mental voice. The Empire's sensors would have better luck detecting a ghost. We're as close to invisible as physics allows. The Blackstar represented everything the Empire believed impossible, or more accurately, everything they had forbidden. Their protection of younger species came with strictly enforced technological limitations. FTL travel was permitted, but only using approved methods. I was restricted to basic logic systems. Quantum technology was absolutely forbidden. Humanity had smiled, nodded, and proceeded to break every single restriction in secret. Commander, Lieutenant Sarah Patel's voice cut through her thoughts. We're receiving reports from our outpost in the Kuiper Belt. Empire ships are increasing their patrol frequency in the outer system. They're citing routine security measures, but the pattern suggests they're looking for something. Elena's jaw tightened. The Empire's patrols had been growing more frequent over the past months, their scan patterns more thorough. They sense something's changed. We've kept this hidden for 2 decades, but we're running out of time. She turned to face the small group of officers gathered on the observation deck. Each had been chosen not just for their expertise, but for their absolute dedication to keeping humanity's true capabilities hidden. Begin final preparation sequences. I want the Blackstar ready for full deployment in 72 hours. Commander, Kai's physical form appeared beside her, his hologram projecting from one of the quantum relays. The neural interface system still needs at least a week of calibration. If we rush this, we don't have a week. Elena cut him off. Though her tone remained gentle, the Empire's not just patrolling anymore. They're hunting. Every day we wait increases the chance they'll detect something we can't hide. Better to launch at 90% capacity than be caught with our ship in dock. The engineering chief nodded reluctantly. He understood the stakes as well as anyone. If the Empire discovered the Blackstar before it was ready, everything they'd worked for would be lost. Humanity would face sanctions at best, orbital bombardment at worst. Deep within the Blackstar's quantum core, systems began powering up in sequence. The dark matter reactor pulsed with energy that defied conventional physics, while gravimetric field generators warped spacetime around the massive hull. In the neural interface chamber, thousands of quantum processors synchronized with the bioorganic matrix that would allow the crew to become one with their ship. Elena felt the Blackstar's awakening through her neural link. Not just data and status reports, but something deeper. The quantum AI they'd developed wasn't merely a computer system. It was a true synthetic consciousness, born from the marriage of human ingenuity and principles reversed engineered from artifacts found in Mars' ancient ruins. The Empire had missed those ruins during their initial survey of Sol system, and humanity had carefully ensured they remained hidden. "Begin crew integration protocols," she ordered, moving toward the neural interface chamber. "I want every system tested and every contingency planned for. The Empire believes they know humanity's capabilities. In 72 hours, we're going to show them how wrong they are." As Elena settled into the neural interface cradle, feeling the quantum connections sync with her implants, she allowed herself a small smile. The Empire had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years through careful control of technology and knowledge. They thought themselves invincible, their power absolute. They were about to learn that humanity had never been as primitive or as compliant as they'd pretended to be. The Blackstar wasn't just a ship. It was a declaration of independence written in quantum fields and dark energy, crewed by humans who had spent generations preparing for this moment. In 72 hours, the galaxy would change forever. Humanity would either take its rightful place among the stars or face extinction for daring to reach beyond their assigned limits. Elena intended to ensure it was the former. The countdown had begun. The USS Blackstar glided silently through the void between Jupiter and Saturn, its quantum stealth systems rendering it invisible to conventional sensors. Commander Elena Santos felt the ship's consciousness merge with her own through the neural interface, raw data flooding her mind in carefully organized streams. Every system was performing perfectly, despite the rushed launch. They had escaped Europa just in time. 12 hours after their departure, an Empire patrol fleet had arrived in the Jovian system, their energy scanners probing deep into the moon's icy crust. But they found nothing. The underground facility had been completely scrubbed, quantum signatures erased, and all evidence of their work eliminated. Multiple contacts approaching from the Kuiper Belt, Lieutenant Potil announced, her thoughts carrying through the neural network. Empire signatures. Looks like a standard patrol group, 3 destroyers and a heavy cruiser. Elena accessed the sensor data directly through her neural link. The Empire ships followed their usual patrol pattern, their sensors sweeping space in predictable sequences. They weren't hunting now. They were simply asserting their presence, reminding the primitive humans of their place in the galactic order. "Plot an intercept course," Elena commanded, surprising her bridge crew. "It's time to test our capabilities against real targets." "Commander," Dr. Chen's consciousness brushed against hers with concern. "Are you sure? Once we reveal ourselves, we can't hide forever, Kai. Better to choose the time and place of our revelation than wait for them to find us unprepared." The Blackstar's dark matter drive pulsed silently, alternating local spacetime to move the massive ship without generating any detectable energy signature. They positioned themselves directly in the Empire Patrol's path, waiting. The moment of contact arrived with theatrical perfection. The Empire ships emerged from FTL travel exactly where predicted, their sensor sweeps passing harmlessly through the Blackstar's quantum stealth field. Elena waited until they were perfectly aligned, then sent the command through her neural link. The Blackstar's stealth systems deactivated. The massive ship materialized like a shadow coming to life, its obsidian hull seeming to drink in the distant sunlight. Through the neural network, Elena felt the shock ripple through the Empire ship's crews as their sensors suddenly registered a vessel larger than their heavy cruiser, built with technology their instruments couldn't even properly analyze. Empire vessels, this is Commander Elena Santos of the USS Blackstar. She broadcast on all frequencies, letting them see their worst nightmare made real. "You are currently in restricted human space. Withdraw immediately." The response was predictably aggressive. "Unknown vessel, you are in violation of multiple treaty protocols." The Empire commander's voice crackled with barely contained rage. "Power down your systems and prepare for boarding. Your technological violations will be dealt with according to Imperial law." Elena smiled, though there was no humor in it. "I don't think you understand the situation. We're not asking permission. We're giving you a chance to leave peacefully." The Empire ships began to move, spreading out into an attack formation. Their weapons powered up, targeting systems locking onto the Blackstar. They still thought they held the technological advantage, still believed in their absolute superiority. Last warning, Alina broadcast. Withdraw, or we will demonstrate exactly how far humanity has advanced beyond your restrictions. The Empire cruiser fired first, its particle beam weapons lashing out at the Blackstar. The energy weapons struck the ship's quantum shield matrix and simply vanished, absorbed into subspace pockets created by technology the Empire had thought impossible for centuries. All weapons free to engage, Alina commanded. Minimal force. This is a demonstration, not a slaughter. The Blackstar's response began with its point defense grid. Microscopic quantum singularities bloomed in space, swallowing incoming fire while the ship's own weapon systems activated. Beams of concentrated dark energy lanced out with surgical precision, slicing through the Empire ship's shields as if they didn't exist and disabling their primary drive systems. Impossible. The Empire commander's voice shook with disbelief. Your species can't possess this level of technology. The treaties, the restrictions, were based on lies. Alina cut him off. You claim to protect younger species while keeping us deliberately primitive. But humanity never stopped advancing. We just learned to hide our progress until we were ready. Through the neural link, Alina directed the Blackstar's quantum sensors to scan the Empire ships in detail, gathering valuable combat data. Their technology was exactly as their intelligence had suggested, advanced by the standards of most species, but limited by the Empire's own restrictions and centuries of technological stagnation. Send the message, she ordered, and the Blackstar's quantum communication array activated. Across every Empire ship, computer systems came alive with data streams they couldn't block. Proof of humanity's advancement, evidence of the Empire's lies, and a simple warning. The age of restrictions was over. Your ships are disabled, but your life support remains intact, Alina informed the Empire commander. A rescue fleet will detect your distress beacon shortly. When they arrive, make sure they understand what happened here. The next Empire ships that enter human space without permission will receive a far less gentle response. As the Blackstar disappeared back into quantum invisibility, Alina felt a mix of satisfaction and concern through the neural network. They had proven their capabilities, shown the Empire that humanity could no longer be controlled through technological restrictions. But this was just the beginning. Send word to all human colonies, she ordered. Operation Reveal is now active. It's time to show the galaxy everything we've been hiding. The Blackstar moved silently through space, its dark matter drive carrying it toward the next phase of humanity's emergence. Behind them, the disabled Empire ships floated in the void, their crews coming to terms with a terrifying new reality. Humanity had not only caught up to their oppressors, they had surpassed them. The game of shadows was ending. The real war was about to begin. Supreme Admiral Vexthor stood before the Imperial High Council, his crystalline form pulsing with barely contained fury as he replayed the sensor logs from the patrol fleet's encounter. The massive chamber fell silent as they watched the impossible vessel materialize from nothing, its weapons cutting through their most advanced shields like paper. The humans have deceived us for generations, he declared, his voice resonating through the chamber. While pretending submission, they developed technologies we had deemed impossible. The U.S. Blackstar isn't just a single ship, it represents a complete failure of our control protocols. High Counselor Zara Eth, her serpentine form coiled on her gravity throne, spoke with cold precision. How many other human vessels possess these capabilities? Unknown, Vexthor admitted. But we're detecting quantum signature anomalies throughout their territory. Their colonies are revealing technologies that shouldn't exist. The restrictions we placed on them were apparently nothing but a facade. In the Sol system, Commander Elena Santos received the emergency transmission from humanity's outer colonies. The Empire had launched simultaneous attacks on 3 human worlds, bringing overwhelming force to bear. But they had encountered something unexpected. The colonies were far from defenseless. Status report, she commanded, The Blackstar's quantum AI translating the thought into action. New Shanghai colony reports Empire forces retreating after their quantum defense grid activated. Lieutenant Paddle reported through the neural link. Novaterra has engaged 2 Empire battle groups with their own stealth ships. Centauri Prime is holding thanks to their dark matter artillery platforms. Elena allowed herself a grim smile. The Empire had expected to find primitive colonies relying on approved technology. Instead, they discovered that humanity's hidden advancement hadn't been limited to the Blackstar. Each colony had developed its own secret technologies, waiting for the day they would be needed. Multiple Empire capital ships entering the Tau Ceti system, Dr. Chen announced, his consciousness merging with the ship's sensors. They're targeting our shipyards. The shipyards they know about, Elena corrected. Deploy the Ghost Fleet. Throughout the Tau Ceti system, quantum fields rippled as dozens of ships shed their stealth protocols. The Empire fleet found themselves surrounded by vessels that matched the Blackstar's capabilities, smaller but no less lethal. Humanity had been building in secret for decades, preparing for this inevitable confrontation. The battle that followed would be remembered for centuries. Empire ships fired weapons designed to overwhelm conventional shields, only to watch their energy attacks vanish into quantum sinks. Human vessels danced through space using dark matter drives that ignored normal physics, their weapons bypassing Empire defenses with contemptuous ease. Admiral, the Empire fleet commander's voice shook. They're not just matching our technology. They're using principles we've never seen. Their quantum manipulation, their drive systems, they're beyond anything in our database. Vexthor watched the tactical displays with growing horror as his fleet's formation crumbled. All ships concentrate fire on their flagship. The Blackstar must be destroyed to break their morale. The Empire fleet unleashed their full fury on the Blackstar's position, enough firepower to crack a small moon. But as the energy weapons converged, the human vessel's quantum shields didn't just absorb the attack. They redirected it, channeling the power through their own weapon systems. A gift returned. Elena broadcast as the Blackstar's main gun spoke, dark energy beams amplified by the Empire's own attack, striking with devastating precision. Empire ships began to fall, their hulls breached by weapons that ignored their most advanced defenses. But it wasn't just the technology that surprised the Empire forces. Human ships moved in perfect coordination, their neural-linked crews and quantum AIs working with impossible synchronization. Where Empire ships relied on rigid formations and protocols, humanity's fleet adapted and flowed like water, each vessel acting as part of a greater whole. Send the signal, Elena commanded. Across human space, hidden quantum transmitters activated, broadcasting on frequencies the Empire couldn't block. Every subjugated species in the galaxy would see the truth. The Empire's technological superiority was a myth, their control built on lies and restrictions. In the Imperial High Council chamber, reports flooded in from across their territory. The humans weren't just fighting back. They were systematically revealing Empire weaknesses, sharing data about their vulnerabilities, and demonstrating that their technological dominance could be broken. This goes beyond mere rebellion. Counselor Zaraeth hissed. They're threatening the very foundation of our control. If other species see this, they already have. Vexthor interrupted, displaying more sensor data. We're detecting quantum signature anomalies in systems belonging to the Arcanian Collective and the Zinthar Consortium. Other species are beginning to test their restrictions, questioning our authority. The Blackstar led its Ghost Fleet in a final attack run, their combined firepower systematically dismantling the Empire's remaining ships. Elena felt the ship's quantum AI analyzing each Empire response, learning and adapting in real time. Commander, Dr. Chen's thoughts carried urgency. We're detecting massive fleet movements throughout Empire space. They're mobilizing everything they have. Elena nodded, having expected this response. Send word to all human colonies and ships. Phase 3 is now active. The Empire's about to learn that humanity hasn't just been developing weapons. We've been preparing contingencies for every possible response. As the Empire fleet retreated from Ta City in disarray, Alina knew the real war was just beginning. The Empire would return with everything they had, desperate to crush humanity before their example inspired a galaxy-wide revolution. But humanity was ready. The shadows had served their purpose, allowing them to prepare in secret. Now it was time to step into the light and show the galaxy that the age of Empire control was ending. The crystalline spires of Archon Prime glittered in the light of 3 suns, their transparent surfaces concealing quantum technology that rivaled humanity's own achievements. Commander Alina Santos stood in the Grand Conference Chamber, her neural link connecting her to both the Blackstar in orbit and the advanced systems of the Arcanian Citadel. Your species has accomplished what we thought impossible. First speaker Cull's crystalline form resonated with harmonics of respect. The Empire told us our crystalline nature made us unsuitable for advanced quantum mechanics, yet you've proven their limitations were lies. The chamber was filled with representatives from a dozen species, each drawn by humanity's successful defiance of Empire control. The Zinthar, with their gas-based consciousness. The Meridians, whose bioorganic technology had been systematically suppressed. The cybernetic nexus, forced to limit their neural networks to basic functions. The Empire didn't protect us. Alina addressed the gathering, her words translated perfectly by quantum field interpreters. They preserved their power by keeping us divided and technologically stunted. But humanity wasn't the only species to advance in secret. Through her neural link, Alina felt the Blackstar's quantum eye analyzing the incredible technologies hidden within the Arcanian Citadel. The crystalline beings had developed their own quantum manipulation techniques, perfectly suited to their unique biology. Like humanity, they had hidden their true capabilities, waiting for the right moment. The Empire fleet approaches Sector 7. Lieutenant Patel's thoughts reached Alina through their secure quantum channel. 300 capital ships, including their flagship, the Imperial Will. Let them come. Patel's harmonic voice carried confidence. The humans have shown us that the Empire can be defeated. Now let us show them the power of unity. Across Archon Prime, crystalline structures that had appeared purely decorative revealed their true nature. Quantum energy coursed through lattices that the Empire had dismissed as primitive art, powering defense systems that matched anything humanity had developed. But their technology followed different principles, shaped by the unique properties of their crystalline biology. In orbit, the Blackstar's sensors detected similar revelations throughout the sector. The Zinthar's gas clouds, thought to be natural phenomena, concealed massive energy matrices. The Meridian's organic ships, previously disguised as spaceborne life forms, pulsed with barely contained power. Multiple Empire signatures detected. Dr. Chen reported from the Blackstar. They're deploying in attack formation. The Empire fleet emerged from FTL travel in perfect military precision, their weapons already charged. Supreme Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of the Imperial Will, his crystalline form darkened with battle stems. So, the humans seek to unite our wayward protectorates, he broadcast on all frequencies. This rebellion ends now. All species will submit to Imperial authority or face extinction. The response came not from Alina or the Blackstar, but from First Speaker Call. We are not your protectorates, Admiral. We are not children to be controlled. The humans didn't just show us that resistance was possible. They showed us that your entire system of control was built on lies. Across the sector, ships and defense platforms revealed themselves. But unlike the coordinated human fleet actions, each species brought their own unique approach to warfare. Arcanian crystal ships refracted energy weapons through their hulls, multiplying their power. Zinthar gas forms absorbed and redirected Empire attacks through their quantum matrices. Meridian bioships adapted in real time to enemy tactics. Impossible. Vexthor whispered as his tactical displays showed weapons and defenses that shouldn't exist. All of them developed forbidden technology. Not forbidden. Elena broadcast as the Blackstar moved to join the combined fleet. Merely hidden. Like humanity, every species you suppressed continued to advance. We just learned to hide it better than you could search for it. The battle that followed demonstrated why the Empire had worked so hard to keep their subject species divided. Each race brought unique strengths and technologies to the fight. Where Empire ships relied on standardized tactics and technology, the Allied species created combinations that had never been seen before. Arcanian crystal ships channeled energy through the Xinthar's gas forms, creating weapon effects that bypassed Empire shields completely. Meridian bioships merged temporarily with Nexus cyber vessels, their combined technologies adapting faster than Empire tacticians could respond. And through it all, human quantum ships coordinated the assault, their neural-linked crews and AIs helping synchronize the diverse alliance. Commander, Dr. Chen's thoughts carried excitement. The combined fleet's effectiveness exceeds all projections. The Empire's standardized approach can't handle this level of technological diversity. Elena nodded, feeling the truth of it through her neural link with the Blackstar. The Empire had maintained control by enforcing technological uniformity. They had never faced species fighting with completely different tech bases simultaneously. The Imperial Will's primary weapons fired, attempting to split the Allied fleet formation. But the Allies didn't use standard formations. Each species moved according to their own tactical doctrines, creating a constantly shifting battlefield that defied conventional military strategy. Fascinating. Cthulhu's harmonic voice resonated through the quantum link. Each of our species developed different solutions to similar problems. Combined, we're not just stronger, we're effectively impossible to counter. The Empire fleet began to break apart, their rigid tactics useless against an enemy that fought with multiple technological paradigms simultaneously. Ships that could defend against human quantum attacks fell to Arcanian crystal beams. Vessels adapted to handle crystalline energy couldn't cope with Xinthar gas form assaults. Supreme Admiral, the Empire fleet commander's voice shook. We're facing at least 6 different types of technology that violate fundamental laws of physics. Our doctrine has no counter for this level of tactical diversity. Vexthor watched his mighty fleet crumble before this unprecedented alliance. The Empire had maintained power by keeping species isolated, ensuring they all developed along carefully controlled technological paths. But now they faced the combined innovation of races who had advanced in completely different directions. As the Empire fleet retreated in disarray, Elena felt hope surge through the neural network. This victory represented more than just a successful battle. It proved that different species could work together, combining their unique approaches to create something greater than the sum of its parts. "Send word to all allied worlds," she commanded. The Empire's greatest lie wasn't about technology. It was the claim that we needed their control to prevent chaos. Today proved that different species can advance in their own ways while still working together. The alliance had been forged in battle, but its implications would reshape the galaxy. The age of Empire control was ending, replaced by something far more interesting, an era where each species could develop according to their own nature while still contributing to the greater whole. The imperial capital world of Nexus Prime filled the Blackstar's quantum sensors, its artificial rings bristling with defenses built over 10,000 years of Empire dominance. Before it gathered the largest fleet ever assembled in galactic history, 5,000 Empire capital ships drawn from every corner of their territory. Commander Elena Santos stood on the Blackstar's bridge, feeling the combined consciousness of the Allied fleet through her neural link. Human quantum ships flew alongside Arcanian crystal vessels, Xinthar gas form entities, Meridian bioships, and dozens of other species craft. Each brought their own unique approach to space combat, their technologies developed in secret over centuries of oppression. The Empire commits everything to this battle. First Speaker Cthulhu's harmonic voice resonated through the quantum network. They know if they cannot crush us here, their authority over the galaxy ends forever. Through the neural link, Elena felt the Blackstar's quantum eye analyzing the Empire fleet's formation. Their tactics remained rigid, predictable. A civilization so convinced of its superiority that it had stopped innovating centuries ago. But they still commanded overwhelming numbers and immense firepower. All Allied ships, Alina broadcast through the quantum network, remember your training. Don't try to match their formations or tactics. Each species fights according to their own nature. That diversity is our greatest strength. Supreme Admiral Vexthor stood on the bridge of his new flagship, the Eternal Dominion, after the destruction of the Imperial will in their last encounter. His crystalline form pulsed with battle stimulants as he regarded the smaller but technologically diverse Allied fleet. This rebellion ends today. He broadcast on all frequencies. Your technological violations will be purged. The natural order will be restored. The Empire's protection will continue. Protection. Alina's response carried across space. You never protected us. You imprisoned us, restricted us, forced every species to develop along paths you could control. But life doesn't flourish in chains. Real growth requires freedom to explore, to innovate, to find our own ways forward. The Empire fleet launched their attack with overwhelming force, tens of thousands of energy weapons firing simultaneously. But the Allied species had prepared for this moment. Arcanian crystal ships created massive refraction fields, catching the Empire's energy weapons and splitting them into harmless spectrums. Zinthar gas forms absorbed other attacks into their quantum matrices, while Meridian bioships adapted their organic hulls to resist the specific frequencies being used. The Allies' counterattack demonstrated why the Empire had fought so hard to prevent this kind of cooperation. Human quantum ships phased through space using principles the Empire had thought impossible, their dark energy weapons synchronized with Arcanian crystal beams to create devastating combination effects. Zinthar gas forms merged temporarily with Meridian bioships, creating hybrid entities that could shift between different states of matter. Impossible. Vexthor whispered as his tactical displays showed weapons and defenses that violated everything the Empire had thought they knew about physics. The combinations, the interactions, this level of technological cooperation shouldn't be possible. Through her neural link, Alina felt the Blackstar's quantum AI learning and adapting in real time, helping coordinate the diverse Allied fleet. Empire ships found their careful formations broken by attacks that came from multiple technological paradigms simultaneously. Vessels adapted to handle quantum weapons fell to crystalline energy. Ships designed to resist energy attacks were consumed by living biomatter that ignored their shields completely. Their weakness is their uniformity. Dr. Chen's thoughts reached Alina through the neural network. They standardized everything. Weapons, defenses, tactics. They can't adapt to multiple technological approaches at once. The battle reached its peak as the Eternal Dominion engaged the Blackstar directly. The Empire flagship unleashed weapons that could crack planets, expecting to overwhelm the human vessel's defenses. Instead, the Blackstar's quantum shields redirected the energy through override protocols that Ketel's scientists had developed, while Zinthar gas forms transformed the radiation into usable power. You fool, Vexthor broadcast as his mighty ship began to fail. Without our control, the galaxy will fall into chaos. Different species advancing along different paths will lead to conflict, to war. Look around you, Alina responded, gesturing to the Allied fleet fighting in perfect coordination despite their technological diversity. We're not fighting each other. We're not destroying each other. We're working together, each bringing our own strengths to create something greater than any one species could achieve alone. The Blackstar's main gun spoke one final time. Their dark energy beams combined with crystalline focusing arrays and bioorganic targeting systems. The Eternal Dominion's shields failed against this unprecedented combination of technologies, and the mighty flagship began to break apart. Throughout the Empire fleet, ships began powering down as their crews realized the truth. The Empire's control hadn't protected civilization. It had stagnated it. The Allies hadn't just developed new technologies. They'd proven that different species could advance in their own unique ways while still working together. Commander, Lieutenant Paddle reported through the neural link, "We're receiving surrenders from multiple Empire battle groups. Their command structure is collapsing." In the aftermath, as the Allies secured the Empire capital, Elena stood in the ancient High Council chamber. Representatives of dozens of species gathered, each bringing their own perspectives and technologies to the discussion of what would follow the Empire's fall. "We don't need a new empire," she addressed the gathering. "We don't need a single authority controlling how species develop. What we need is cooperation. A framework that allows each civilization to advance according to their own nature while working together for the common good." Kittle's crystalline form resonated agreement. The Empire feared our differences would lead to chaos. Instead, those differences proved to be our greatest strength. Each species brings unique insights, unique solutions to the same problems. The Blackstar hung in orbit above Nexus Prime, its quantum eye processing the enormous changes sweeping the galaxy. The Empire's fall didn't just end 10,000 years of technological suppression. It opened the door to a new age of diversity and innovation. Humanity had struck the first blow, proving the Empire could be defeated. But it was the combined strength of many species, each developing along their own paths, that had truly changed the galaxy. The future would not be one of uniformity and control, but of diversity and cooperation, where every civilization could contribute its unique strengths to the greater whole. As Elena looked out over the gathered representatives of the new alliance, she felt the weight of possibility through her neural link. The real challenge, and the real adventure, was just beginning. They would need to learn to balance freedom with responsibility, diversity with cooperation, innovation with stability. But for the first time in 10,000 years, the galaxy's species were free to find their own paths forward. The age of empire control was over. The age of diversity had begun.